you guys are in, you can feel free to chat. I'm just waiting a little bit, letting the room fill up. I always feel weird starting and no one here to watch. It's true. Absolute worst. Not sure where that's coming from, but I agree. Alright, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to Sculpting with Scampi. This is episode 6. Tonight's topic will be multiple levels of water, creating waterfalls, that kind of stuff, trying to do it right. I'm going to show 2 methods of doing it. You guys can choose which one you want to do. One is kind of easy, one's a little harder. It's up to you what you want to do. And then I'm also going to talk about giving some character to your green sculpting. I may not actually get to that depending on time, how long water takes, because it's kind of difficult, but hopefully we can get to both. And then I will finish up like I always do with some speed design. So we'll go ahead and get started. So someone asked in the forum, or at least wanted the topic of how to create multiple levels of water and how to do waterfalls. So I actually hadn't really experimented with it up until today, 2 seconds ago. I kind of know the gist of it. The main point is we want to try to figure out how to get rid of these blue lines. There's another problem that's going to pop up later. So what I'm going to try to create is 1, 2, 3 levels of water, and it's going to be kind of like a river of water rushing down with 2 sets of waterfalls ending in a little bay right here next to what it will be my green. So we have our first one, which I already have the flow going the way I want it to. You can barely see it rushing back towards us. If you wanted to change that, all you need to do is adjust the water flow here in these options. There's also, when you initially place it, an option in Advanced Edit to go in and change that. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create another thing of water just next to this one. I want to get it kind of even, just for the sake of this. It doesn't necessarily have to be even, but just for my own purposes, I'm going to make it even. That's good enough. Alright. We're going to raise the height of this. It doesn't really matter if it's for your purposes later when you're creating your own course, but for this it doesn't really matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up right on top of each other as close as I can get them. Alright, and then we're going to apply. So now I have 2 sets of water. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up raising the land. How you doing, Jeremy? I'm going to raise the land so that we've got kind of a river coming down here. There's going to be a waterfall hanging out. We'll throw in some rocks. Starting at this base level, what you want to do is you want to sculpt your land. For this, I would use one of the soft brushes here. And you're going to want to make some hills. What you're going to do is you're going to raise, and it's being glitchy, so we're going to have to give it a second. But you're going to raise, and then kind of carve out the land the way you want it to. So again, this is going to be our little bay at the end. And we're going to cover all the blue lines, except for the one at the back. For anybody watching, this is going to be kind of a longer tutorial than what I normally do, so bear with me. This is a little more in-depth. Alright, we now have that completely covered up. We have a nice little bay here that we'll be using later. It'll have a nice view from the green. So now to add the difficult part, the second level of water, you have two options. We can do what we did here around the outskirts of this, and then go through and add our custom waterfall. I honestly, this is nice, nice and quick, nice and easy and painless to do it this way. I don't think it's the best way. I wouldn't use the word sloppy, but it doesn't look as good. But you're going to raise the height to just over the water, rotate it so that it actually makes sense. Oh, come on. Apparently as wide as I can make it. Now what happens when you raise the land underneath is that you are going to have this black spot underneath, that shadow, which is hard to get rid of. From far away, even if you have rocks and stuff, it is kind of difficult to see what's under there, so it doesn't look that terrible. However, I would prefer to have earth going right here just so it looks kind of a little more natural. You can do this and get away with it. It does look nice and easy. However, it's just not the way that I would prefer to do things. So I'm going to delete these real quick. We'll go ahead and add them in later. What I would do for the next bit is grab your flatten brush, and I rarely ever use this brush with the hard surface. However, for this we are going to use it, and what you're going to do is you're going to raise up until the surface is barely poking out, and then dial it back a bit so that it's barely visible underneath. And go ahead and apply. You can do one of two things from here. You can either lower it back down to 0, or if you don't want to play games, you can just back out, go back into your sculpt land, go back into flatten, and go to the same thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to edge out from here until we're covering the whole surface here. Now it kind of looks like the land is here, but really it's just barely under the surface of the water. You can't actually see it. You still got the water there. And we're going to back completely up. You're going to want to get forward until you have that nice little cascade coming down, or that little, I don't know, where the earth is kind of meeting. We're going to fix up that back end here in a bit, but for now, this is kind of what we want. This look right here. We're going to then go ahead and sculpt the land around it. Making sure blue squares here, or the blue lines at the end. I think placement's pretty important, so make sure you're covering what you want to cover here. The important thing to me is that you are still going to have this cut off between where water is there and the end of the cliff. So I would cover that with your waterfall. You of course want to give it some character, so make sure that you're placing some rocks in there. Make sure you're rotating your rocks because not rotating is lazy. Technically I should be changing the rock too, but if you rotate, and this is quick, so not too big of a deal. Okay, once we bring the trees up, this is going to look a lot better. I'm actually going to go through, just because this is kind of a complex process, I'm going to add a second level here, and I'm not really going to talk that much, so you guys can kind of watch if you need to. But to me, this is how you do a nice little waterfall. And you can do plenty with this. In case you do want to add... No. These low falls, which I do like. I really do like these low falls. I just don't think they work for this method, this kind of what you're doing. I would reserve this for like walls instead, that kind of like a clubhouse type feature, or tiny little landscaping, because it doesn't really cover up earth that well. So this is what I would use for that instead. But as you can see, the only real issue here is you have this divide between the water and where the falls start, but there's really nothing you can do with that. If you do place rocks kind of in this general area, it can kind of help to give this illusion that it's breaking up the area, and obviously there would be rocks kind of in this little area. But other than that, there's really not much you can do about that. I think this is the most natural way that you can get waterfalls in there. So I am going to, like I said, just create another level there so you guys can kind of watch, just in case you missed how I did the first time. If anybody has any questions they would like to ask, please feel free to do so. No problem. Does that help? I don't know if I answered everything. I think I covered everything. See if I can't make this one a little more fancy. Nah, we'll just go ahead and keep it right. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna do it here, so yeah. How you doing, Chad? Oh yeah, definitely. Forgot to do that down there. Makes it a little more realistic. Oh, there it is. I think so far David is the only one who has actually had a question in the forums that I've been able to answer. Most weeks I'm kind of just like winging it on what to teach people, so that's cool. I mean, this course started as a Q&A show, but it can just be I design things show. I've thought about going through and fixing up a previous course, like a really, really bad course, like an earlier one, kind of one-on-one. You know, like every night fix up a hole. Maybe when I'm done with speed design, I can do that. You know what's funny is I don't actually think that, I mean, every course I've played, like a good portion of them, the new ones, they all do have some kind of waterfall on them. But it's still not as big of an epidemic as I thought it would be. I thought it would be waterfalls everywhere. And you know what? I still haven't seen, like, there's 2 new lighthouses, and I don't think I've actually seen them. I think we've lost our love for lighthouses. That's all you're missing on your harvest course that's landlocked. That's all you're missing. Alright. Like Antonio mentioned, for this one, I will add some splashes in there. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Not too bad. Alright. I think they did a pretty decent job with these waterfalls. I don't know if they're necessarily to the game. I think they're more of a clubhouse feature than anything, but just some added bonus. Or just some added variety to courses. I think eventually people will stop using them as much. I think it's pronounced Trashbird, but he had a shameless plug before this about his course. I went through and looked through. He actually found a pretty decent use for, or pretty creative uses for all these. So if you haven't gone and looked at that, please be sure to, because it was pretty cool. Let's see. Low splash, high splash. Not familiar with the splashes yet. Oh, definitely high splash. Go high or go home. You know, we're coming up on, what's the day? 14th. We got 17 days out. And I think we have 10 people that have finished. Oh, you can control the flow of the actual water right here. See, like that one's real slow for some reason. You can make it absurdly quick. I think it's supposed to be flowing northeast. But you can't do anything to change the falls, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see. Throw some more rocks in there, just cause. This is not all I'm going to be teaching today. If you guys have joined late, I am going to... Yeah, unfortunately you can't. I am going to be also talking about green sculpting, and I'll show you guys what I mean here in a second. I think a lot of people are. I'm getting. I mean, you and I talked about it, Jeremy. You, me, and Chad on the last contest. I'm constantly worried that people aren't going to finish, but hopefully they do. Like just once, I think I'd like a contest where like no one bows out. I think Andre posted that he was backing out, and then that post is gone. So I don't know if he had a change of heart or if someone talked him out of it, or hopefully he stays in. It wouldn't be fun winning if I didn't beat everybody. Okay, that's gonna have to do for now. That looks decent. Threw it together last minute, so let's bring the trees back up so it looks pretty. And that looks not half bad. And like I said, if you missed it in the earlier part, I really like having... I hate this stupid yellow... I really hate this stupid yellow thing. I cannot see a freaking thing. Sometimes you'll have people who will not have this this earth back here. It'll just be kind of like a black shadow because they haven't raised the earth underneath, which is fine and all. It just I don't like that look. I do like having that earth. So the second way I showed it is how you get that earth look back there. You could also alternatively just fill that all with rocks, but again, I'm not really a huge fan of that look. So, so my course has a whole bunch of grass on it. Like that's I think one of the big drawbacks of my course is it's really barren. It's not a lot of really not a lot to look at. Like I did a great job with it. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just kind of boring. Not a lot to look at. The main feature of my course was like a lot of grass. And I literally got to a point where I was planting, and I would like start the designer, choose a plant, and it would crash. So I published because I just couldn't keep my sanity anymore. Like, there's so many, every time I play my course, I'm just like, that should be planted, and that should be planted. There should be grass there, there should be grass there. And it's frustrating, but it is what it is. I still love the game. I just like designing. Okay, so like I said, before I get into speed design, I am going to talk about giving your green some character. This is not about green sculpting. Unfortunately, I can do that another time. What I want to talk about specifically is making the green complex stand out a little bit. Let me add some fairway and stuff in here real quick. Kind of forgot to do that. I don't remember whose thread I was looking at, but I saw a lot of very flat greens, which they do happen, but typically greens are raised up a little bit. They're kind of on their own mound. So I'm going to teach how to do that and get some different just some different green complexes, some tricks. Not sure what I'm trying to say here with that. So let me. This is going to kill me. Just a really crap band of rough going around this. That'll work fine. And heavy rough, because I want to. Okay, so to raise the green up just a little bit to start. Yeah, because you're a total newbie and don't know anything. Use this brush or this brush and raise up until the rough right here. Just a little bit. Yeah, no you don't. Okay, what was it? It was, not gonna remember the name. It was probably the first course that I, like, loved. Shores. What was your tropical one? I don't remember it. But there was just so much going on. Like, there was just a lot in there. So don't try to pretend like you don't know what's going on. Was it Tropicana? I want to say it was Tropicana, but that sounds too orange juicy. Anyways, one of my early favorites, like when I first started playing, learned quite a bit from that course. I think I learned quite a bit of planting from that course. Alright, anyways, so we've raised up the green complex here. The fairway ideally would be running towards it. And what we're going to do is just create some undulations around the green. Starting from the center here, what you want to do is just edge out a little bit in a few different places. You can make this as wide as possible. And just as easy as that, you have just a tiny hill back there. You can then take the soft brush and lower a couple areas. Take another soft brush and raise up back here. So you have a hill. This, I know this all seems incredibly random, but this is giving a lot of character around the screen. What I'm trying to prevent is just a flat green where the rough transitions into just like it's the same exact height going all the way around. Like, it doesn't really work that way. There's like hills and undulations that go past the green. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well, but that's okay. Kind of threw this together last minute, so. Point is that there's stuff happening outside the green that you should definitely pay attention to. It doesn't have to be a bunker guarding your green. You know, make a hill that people have to go around, or some kind of drop off or something like that. Expand outside of bunkers if you feel like you're in a rut. See, there's character around this green now. If there was a fairway, I should have done a fairway. If there's a fairway leading to it, it would look a lot better and make more sense. But That's it. Okay, so we are close to 28 minutes in. Does anybody have any questions before I switch over to speed design? Because I can just do it in speed design. I don't know why I'm jumping over already. Okay, so we are going to jump into speed design, which is probably my favorite part of the show now. Are you kidding me? I did it again! Oh my goodness! How did I not save this last time? Okay, so... Antonio, are you still there? You're my witness that I actually did something last week. Okay, so, story time and speed design. So speed design, I have 15 minutes to design a par 3. Alright, so nobody actually commented on it, but the French was fake. It was not French at all. The Spanish, I do know quite a bit of Spanish, but I intentionally messed it up. I threw breakfast in there at some point, and I was kind of upset that nobody who was Scottish actually got upset. Anyways, speed design. I have 15 minutes to design a par 3. I'm going to be doing this over the course of 9 weeks. And at the end, I'm going to be turning it into a par 3 9-hole and publishing it. There's going to be a 10th week where I have 30 minutes to go back and do anything I want, but I only have a 30-minute mark. Well, I don't like Danes. I don't know what to talk to you about. Now, here's the thing. 3 weeks ago, I designed the second hole and completely forgot to save and went back in and redid it, trying my best to copy it exactly so that I could uphold the integrity. And then last week, didn't have a whole bunch of people on the show. Well, that's unfortunate. We can't be friends now. And I did a nice par 3 going here with an island in the middle. It was an island green. And I didn't save again. That drives me crazy. So gonna have to start over. Oh, there we go. I guess I'm just gonna do it again. So we're gonna do the third hole again. I have 15 minutes. The time will start at 31:50 and go until 31:30 and go till 46:30. I will be asking for a challenge, so I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go, and you can choose any kind of feature that I have to have for this specific par 3. So for this one, I had needed a lake with water in front on the right. It can be something silly. It can be a kangaroo. I don't care. I did have a island green over here. I kind of want to go back and redo that. It looked really good. That disappeared. So, 1, 2, 3, go. And we'll change this up. I'll start at 32 minutes and we'll go to 47. Pot bunkers. All right. You got a specific, like, how many? I kind of want to still do this peninsula, so I'm gonna bring it out here so that I can come back if I need to. All right, I'm starting. Tell me how many you want. Going to the 47-minute mark. Two to three pop bunkers. All right. It's actually my weakness. You're too late, Dane. See, it's why they hate the Danes. They're so slow. I've got to turn the trees off. I'm losing time. It's taking way too long. False front with a small guarding collection bunker in front. Ooh. That would have been fun, though. I did play your course. I liked it. There was a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. Okay, pop bunkers. Let's see here. I'm going to have the bunkers going 1, 2, 3, going across like this. Why go to Sweden? Jeremy, where are you from? Aren't you? You're from, I want to say Canada? It's just taking a while. I don't know why. It seems like there's a pause or something after I... Nope. Hate that. Hate that. I couldn't live without distance markers. I think it's too skinny. It's a big apron. That's okay. Oh, that's right. I knew that. I knew that. I think, and don't hate me for this, but I do think the Packers are going to be mediocre this year. That's a tough... I cannot believe the two of you. Hey, D-Dog, who do you have? I don't remember. If I remember correctly, like, when I was predicting, I had you going on... I want to say maybe 2... Who did you draw in the first round? Yeah, there's a lot of those. You never know, someone could surprise you. Like, I had no idea who Matt F was, and Pewter Dunes was not bad. Had no clue. My wife successfully put our son to bed. He's going through, I don't know, some kind of sleep regression. He just won't fall asleep anymore. She came downstairs. No, it didn't. She came downstairs and started doing some kind of dance because she got him to go to bed. So we'll see how long he actually stays asleep. Seriously, this is taking forever. This lag is ridiculous. I'm going to... What time did I start? Did I start at 31, 32? What time did I start? Stop dancing. Nope. I like to draw it with the measuring tool and then I fill it in. It's slow, but I don't know. I feel like it gives me more control. I really don't like the splines. I'm going to use it for the rough here, but I normally don't use it. I usually measure out and place it all manually. I don't. But, I mean, it's a lot quicker, so. That's my own fault. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I know like Taste had a video on it, and I'm sure when I do this I'm making some mistakes, but do you use it for your bunkers? Because it seems like it's like a really confined space to be using them. I feel like I'm really slow on this one. I'm really afraid a lot of these people just aren't going to turn in courses, especially with no names. It's actually one of my worries about doing this show is that I'm not doing splines right, and I'm going to teach some people how to not do them. But yeah, like if they're really small, you can't get a whole lot of detail by doing splines. Okay. That looks like utter crap. Just terrible. Just awful. I might stop doing this speed design. It's killing me. I have to go back and recreate that fourth hole. I think it's going to be third hole, and the other one's going to be the fourth. I'm going to go back and redo it. I have video evidence that I did it, so. Hey Jeremy, have you got any like progress pics from Ola? Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna get to do a whole lot of extra on this one. I think this might be the first hole where I don't get a lot of it done. That's a little too much. I must have a lot of silent watchers. 9 on there, I only got the 2 of you talking. These are doing really good on YouTube though. The very first episode, it's not on the TGC account, it's on my YouTube account. It's got like almost 100 views. So, some people are watching this. Maybe not all of it, but... Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'm sure I have some repeat, customers. Alright, let's see. I'm going to see, I started at 32, so I'm going to 47. I got 6 minutes. It's no good. Yeah, I saw a little bit of Mayday, but I was on mobile, so I couldn't really tell what it was. One of these days I should do a drunk speed design. I'm sure that would add to the difficulty a little bit. And make it more fun though. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I've got a course started, but I can't bring myself to keep it going. I've hit kind of I had a direction I wanted it to go in and just couldn't. I don't know, just couldn't figure it out. I think a lot of people are doing that. We designed so much in TGC1 that there's only so many holes you can do, you know. I am running out of time. Pop bunkers take entirely too long. It's a terrible idea, Jeremy. Oh, they look good though. Yeah, no, it's driving me crazy. Okay, so normally I don't know if anybody's watching who's like actually learning and not just watching me goof around. Normally when I do this, I would be doing up the earth in between these bunkers to make them really look good, but I'm not today, so don't judge me. Okay. I've still got to sculpt this green and throw in the fairway. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Oh man, my orientation was all wrong. They don't know. They're waiting on some patches from HB because HB released a pretty buggy game. The big one is right now, if you play the tours, the wind would be different for people, so you would have people who would wait until the wind was more favorable before they played their rounds. As much as people want to believe that people will play fair, they won't. So, unfortunately, we gotta wait. I actually don't play on the tours, though. I strictly design. I don't mind playing, but I like designing. Alright, let's see. Can I get pin positions? 1.5 minutes for pin positions. And, yep. Jeremy, maybe one day you'll convince me to do this with a Russian accent. I can do a pretty decent Russian accent. Oh, I actually have... what did you say to me? You call me Chekhov, I do not like... Alright, bring up the trees here on this. I don't really have a spot to plant here. Didn't add my deep rough either, it's a little inconsistent. I'm gonna have to go back and find like what I messed up with each of these. Oh, does Griff actually do it too? Oh, that blocks the view. A minute blocks the view. Every now and then when I do Russian I slip into Borat, I'm not sure why. I have 50 seconds, need to do a little planting on the side. Can't even see planting. Egg. This be shit course. Do too quickly, 15 minutes is not enough. Not enough time. Good thing I have quick planting trick, cannot even see from T. Alright, that should do it. Alright, Jeremy. Does that meet your criteria there? What? Alright. There she is. Pothole bunkers. Probably could have deepened them a little more. I really like that earthen look around them though. Looks really nice. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then it's gonna double back around for 4. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Alright, that is the third hole of the speed design challenge, par 3 15 in minutes. par 3 in 15 minutes. I think that looks pretty good. I think I might be getting good at this. I'm going to go ahead and play test them just to see if the green sculpting was fine that I did real quick. But after that, I'll be signing off, so you guys can go ahead and sign off if need be, or you can stick around and watch me play terribly. Hey, thanks. Chad, I'm not kidding you. I gotta go back and watch the screen. I gotta go back and watch the stream. I cannot believe I deleted that other hole. That's the second week in a row, too. I have got to remember to save this one. I really don't want to keep having to remake these. I got proof that I actually did them. I had a bridge. It was an island green. It was beautiful. Antonio is my witness that I actually did it in 15 minutes. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I've actually done it 2 weeks in a row now. I deleted this one, had to go back and redo it. I had this one last week. There was a little bit of a bigger lake here. I had an island green about right here. Yeah, no, don't. It sucks. Oh, best thing too. Last week during speed design, my controller lost charge. Halfway through it, there's like a 15-second blip of me like getting up and sprinting towards another controller. Thankfully, I have them charging all the time, so. Yeah, I can run back and see it. I'll give you an overview. I won't necessarily play it, but I'll run back and give you an overview of it. Oh, I keep forgetting these greens are slow. Like I said earlier, I'm actually kind of surprised by how many views they're getting. So, I don't know how long I'll be able to keep doing the show. It drives my wife crazy every week because she's got to like kind of keep the kid. All right, here's hole one. Here you go, Junior. Here's hole one. No planting at all. It's one of the problems. These bunkers don't really come into play, and they're not sculpted either. But that's hole one. You got hole two here with the water in front and the high limestone look on the corner. Have to delete all those T's. I think something that I like about this one is the really big apron. I don't think I did as big an apron for these. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. There's nothing wrong with just creating the holes, but there's so much less you can do. If you're definitely into designing, like not only my videos. Find Crazy Canucks, Antonio Scarpacci. I think D-Dog, who was on the stream, has some out there. There's a whole bunch of videos you can go watch. Mine's not the only way of doing it. Taste is another great designer that has videos. Definitely get into it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Taste is really the one you want to go watch. He does like art in real life. He's some kind of artist or whatever, so he brings a lot of art into it. I learned quite a bit from him. Also, if you watch his stream, he's usually drunk, so a little bit of entertainment there. You said it's 1:30 a.m. for you, so you must be in Europe somewhere. Oh, yep, Griff is great too. Forgot about Griff. I wonder how many times I'm going to practice before I remember that the greens are really slow and don't 2-putt everything. 3-putt in this case. Alright guys, I got one more pin position to play. Thank you everybody for keeping up with me. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show. I think this one was the longest one we've had so far. I want to thank everybody who is my regulars. Chad, Antonio stopped by earlier. Oh, there you go. You should go back in the forums and look at my my Angry Scottish if you didn't already. I can't actually tell if people like the quick build, but I think they're pretty cool. How you doing, man? Shank the fuck out of that. This pot bunker's getting to work. You're catching the tail end of the stream. I'm literally Alright, Chad, that's enough. I'm booting you from the stream every time you're on. That's enough out of you. Alright, thanks guys, that's it. Sorry, caught me at the tail end here. Have a good one, Justin. Sorry you missed it. Bye, guys.